Hello, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Allie Pike, and I'm the Regional Outreach and Engagement Coordinator here at VetBiz. VetBiz hosts the Kansas, Missouri, and Southern Illinois Veteran Business Outreach Center, or VBOC, which is funded in part by the SBA. At the VBOC at VetBiz, we help support military and veteran personnel and spouses and their families with their entrepreneurial dreams in most industries and business stages at no cost to our clients. Today, I'll be talking about how to talk to customers to keep them and the various ways to engage new and potential customers. Small business owners have the unique advantage of working one-on-one directly with their customers, and how you talk to those customers can determine how successful your small business will be in the long term. These are the learning objectives for today's class. By the end of the lesson, we will understand how tone, empathy, and clarity influence retention. We will learn how to use active listening and positive phrasing, and we will discover how empathy and ownership deepen customer trust. So why does that customer communication matter? It's because 68% of customers leave due to a perceived indifference. So that means over 2/3 of customers who leave do it because they feel ignored. Now, this statistic comes from a Rockefeller Corporation study on customer retention, and it's validated by the Harvard Business Review. Now, Forbes magazine in late 2022 estimated that it costs 5 to 7 times to get a new customer versus keeping one. The Harvard Business Review estimates that acquiring a new customer could cost as much as 25 times more than retaining an existing one. This is why customer service is such a large part of a small business's business model. This is why how you talk to customers matters just as much as what your company provides. You're selling a product or service that provides value to your customers, which is why they came to you in the first place. But that customer service you provide is going to determine whether or not you make a sale and whether or not they stay. Good customer service can lead to customer loyalty, and the importance of customer loyalty can be broken down with the Pareto's principle. The Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule, is the idea that 80% of outcomes come from 20% of causes. It's a useful concept for prioritizing issues and making the most impact. And it relates to your small business because 80% of your business is likely to come from 20% of your customer base. This is why you should prioritize getting, keeping, and growing your loyal customer base. Once your customers see that you're providing a good product and outstanding service, they are going to be the mouthpiece for your product or service and help build your business for you. Small business owners have a unique opportunity to connect one-on-one with their customer base. This gives you the advantage of connecting in a genuine way with your customers. You live and work in the same community. Connecting with your customers is much easier for you than it is the big box stores. The Harvard Business Review cites that a study done by Frederick Reichheld of Bain & Company, they're the ones who invented the Net Promoter Score, it shows that increasing customer retention rates by 5% can increase profits by 25 to 95%. Not only will happy customers be repeat customers, but they'll also spread the word about your company. Think about Apple versus Android users and the loyalty their customers have for the brand. It would take an absolute beast of a promotion in order for one of those to switch to the other. And even then, not everyone is going to switch. For larger corporations, one customer is not likely to make or break them. They can teach their employees customer service skills going down the ladder, but the owners of the company often don't have direct interactions with customers, so the way larger corporations operate is often different. However, not every large corporation is immune to Pareto's principle. Let's take Starbucks, for example. Over the decades, Starbucks has had to get, keep, and grow their customer base with a changing business and economic model. Think about how we see Starbucks today. They started out with their double roasted coffee beans and used that to open up a local coffee shop. Before COVID, Starbucks went from your local coffee shop to a worldwide brand with one on almost every corner. But during COVID, we saw Starbucks shift to adapt to a more online and drive-through ordering. Now, their new CEO, Brian Niccol, who just came over from Chipotle in September, is working on changes to get back to their local community coffeehouse roots and encourage in-person seating. They're even starting to offer free refills to those that are staying in the store. If even a large corporation like Starbucks is working on customer service and customer retention, every small business would benefit from doing the same. These are the 4 core communication skills that we're going to be covering today. We are going to talk about tone and energy, active listening, positive language, and empathy and ownership, along with some examples with what these might look like for your business. Your voice tone can give a good or a bad impression, and if this is a first-time caller, especially a potential customer, you want to make sure you put that positive energy forward. I know I sound kind of like a hippie here, but what you put out in the world is going to come back to you. If you put positive energy forward, so will your customer. You also want to make sure you match the customer's tone appropriately. If the customer is upset, it's important for you to stay calm so that they can eventually calm themselves as the conversation goes on. If they are more formal, then make sure you keep it professional. Meet them where they are so you can have a more productive conversation. If you called a company that you were interested in giving your money to, for a product or service, of course, would the energy that you get on the other end of the line impact your desire to work with that company? Think about a time you called and got a recorded message telling you what to do next. Those recordings are often cold and impersonal, though they have come a long way with AI. Your voice tone should be warm and genuine, and never robotic. If I were to answer the phone, "Thank you for calling today. How can I help?" Would you get the impression that I wanted to talk to you? Would you want to do business with me? If I answered the phone with, "Thank you for calling today. How can I help?" the customer gets the impression that you're happy they called and ready to help. You want to know my secret? That's right, I smile when I speak, even though you can't see me. You can always tell when you call someone and they're exasperated or annoyed at having to answer a call. Positive tone and energy will go through the phone. Think back to COVID when we all wore masks. I would smile even under the mask because I knew that energy would come through, even without being able to see it. Smiling even releases good chemicals in your brain, even if you're smiling when you don't want to. Personally, smiling out of habit for customer interactions also acts as a physical reminder of what impression I want to leave the customer with. This is especially important for in-person customer reactions. It helps make you look approachable, and a warm tone of your voice will make them feel comfortable speaking with you. Your customers want to feel heard. Don't just listen to respond, you want to listen to understand. And this is where active listening comes in. No one wants to be interrupted, but especially unhappy customers. I know when I'm interrupted, I completely lose my train of thought. I'm very easily distracted from my main point, and I'm sure some of your customers are going to suffer from this as well. Often, the real issue that needs addressing comes out at the end, so letting your customer get out the whole thing can help lead you to where you can actually help. Making sure to repeat back the key points shows the customer that you were listening to their needs or grievances. A good key phrase to use is, "So what I'm hearing is," and then repeat back the main points. Ask clarifying questions when you need to, and it helps let them know that you care about what they're saying and that you're interested in learning more about what it is they're saying. Positive language choices can make a huge difference in your interactions with customers. Make sure to choose your words carefully and intentionally. Even if your customer or potential customer has something negative to say, focus on the positive. Don't focus on what you can't do, but express to them what you can do to help them. Let's go through some examples of swapping negative phrases for positive ones. Instead of saying, "Oh, I can't do that," or "I can't help you with that," you should say, "Here's what I can do," or "Let me see what I can do." Even if you aren't the person that can help, you can give the customer peace of mind just by letting them know that you're going to look into it. If a customer is confused, you shouldn't tell them, "Oh, you misunderstood." Instead say, "Let me explain it another way." You don't want to blame a customer for their confusion. Explaining it another way will help them understand without placing blame. When someone is upset, they want to know that you understand. This is where empathy and ownership comes in. Say things like, "I'm sorry to hear that," or "That sounds frustrating." Take some ownership. Even if the issue is not directly your fault, you can take the lead on the solution. "Let me see how we can fix this," or "I'll take care of this for you." People don't want excuses, they want to feel like someone has their back. Remember, we're all human, we all make mistakes. Accepting responsibility can help pave the way towards a positive solution. So let's go through some real world examples. Say a customer calls about a shipment that's 2 days late. You wouldn't want to respond with, "I don't know what happened, you'll just have to wait." A better response would be, "I'm so sorry for the delay. I can understand how inconvenient it is. Let me check on the status and see how we can make this right." This shows the customer that you have empathy for their situation. You took ownership for the late shipment, and you're taking the lead on the issue, at least as far as your position allows. You might not be able to do anything once the shipping company has the package, but you can give the customer some peace of mind that you're tracking the situation. No pun intended. Say a customer is confused about how to use your service. A bad example of a response would be, "Well, it's on the website, didn't you see it?" A better response would be, I can understand it can be confusing the first time. Let me walk you through it step by step so you can feel more comfortable. This second example shows empathy for the customer's confusion, and the positive language shows the customer that you heard their confusion and are taking ownership for helping them understand. Say you have a repeat issue. Someone calls for the third time about the same problem. A bad response would be, well, there's nothing I can do. A better response would be, I can see that this has come up before, and I'm really sorry that you're dealing with this again. Let's get it fixed for good this time. I'll stay on this until it's resolved. This example shows that you're empathetic with the situation and their appropriate frustration. You took ownership using positive language. These small shifts in how you speak make a huge difference in how customers feel and whether or not they stay. Maya Angelou said, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. People often don't just leave companies, they leave how they're treated. Talking to a customer is more than just solving a problem, it's building a relationship, and that's how you keep them coming back. Every interaction that you have with a customer is an opportunity to build trust and loyalty. So let's do a quick recap. As we wrap this up, I want you to think about your own experience as a customer and how you want to be talked to. You can use this as a basis for your own customer interactions. Now, keeping your current customers is way more cost effective than obtaining new ones. 5 to 25 times more cost effective. Building trust and loyalty with great customer service can make or break a small business. We went through 4 core communication skills today. Make sure you're using a warm and genuine tone, matching the customer appropriately, and smile when you speak, even if they can't see you, even if you don't feel like it, because they will be able to feel that smile. Listen actively. Don't just listen to respond. Repeat the customer's key points and ask clarifying questions when you need to. Use positive, solution-focused language by focusing on what you can do and not on what is out of your hands. Show empathy and take ownership. You might not be the reason for their issue, but you can be the reason behind the solution. Remember, people may forget what you say, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. Every conversation is an opportunity to make or keep a customer. Now, I would recommend that you pick one habit to practice this week. Maybe it's positive language or better listening. Small changes can add up to better customer service, which leads to loyal customers and a more successful business. If you're looking for more helpful information to start or boost your small business, I would recommend reaching out to a small business resource. The QR code on screen will lead you to a website for the Veteran Business Outreach Center here at VetBiz. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email at pike@vetbiz.com, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn under Allie Pike. If you're not sure about what the right resource is for you, you can still reach out, and we're more than happy to get you connected to the resource you need. Thank you so much for watching, and keep improving in your small business.